Lord.
Oh, Lord. Man. God is good tonight.
Come on
We
in
are
tonight.
we are connected in the name of Jesus.
Come
We
on, I
just
got water.
look, we was here with it and we just switching devices. That's what's good about
Okay.
technology. So we're
Okay. All
gonna
right.
well my phone's gonna die. All right. Can you see me? Let me
Yes.
just hold
Yes.
it. Yes. It wasn't gonna hold. And we'll just do this. We'll just do this.
Yes,
How
baby.
are
We're
you?
giving face. We're giving hair. Come on,
I did
Drew.
this for you. I did this for you.
Don't do
All
it
for
for
you,
me.
Leah.
I
Yes.
appreciate it. Do you know we met? So you came to the radio station when you were doing the Set It Off play.
Yes. Okay. Well,
Hmm. In
were we in
DC.
DC?
In DC. You came up to KYS.
Okay.
You interviewed with somebody else, but I came in the studio. I was like, "Hey, y'all," and I kind of walked out. I didn't,
Yes. I
but
was there
I.
with Mo.
Hmm.
Yes. How
Yep.
are
So
you?
I'm
Did you
doing
come to the
well.
show?
No, so I went to the Set It Off before you were in it though. So I
Okay.
did. I did see it though. I just didn't see it
Okay.
the second time around when you were in it though.
Me
It
and
was very
Mo
good.
and
It was very good, by the
Keisha.
way. It was very good.
Thank
So
you. Thank you. Good
yes,
seeing you again.
yes, good seeing you
I'm so
too.
proud of you. I'm
Thank
following you. I
you.
was checking out your interviews. Young black woman doing her thing, not only just staying inside of a box in radio, but you're breaking down barriers to now do your own thing, giving us an opportunity to connect in this way. That is what I connect with because I'm an actress, but I didn't want to just keep myself in that box, you know? So
Mm,
doing this, you're able to connect with people in a different way. So
yes.
I connect with you on that and I applaud you. So just
Thank
wanted to say
you. Drew, stop
that.
being cute. This is so.
Girl.
And I was gonna literally talk to you about your career because we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into everything. We're gonna get to Housewives. Gotta get into
Okay.
your career because, again, to your point, now that you are on reality TV, that is
Yeah.
never going to take away from you being booked and busy since 2006. Period. Okay?
Let since
Because I was on your site and I saw the history.
yes,
Okay?
yes.
Don't let a
Since
piece
I was
fool you.
8 years old, don't let it fool you. I'm just opening up in a different way. You know, that's what's new.
Absolutely. So let's get into the Housewives because last night I think you officially earned your peach. I think that like last night I think that we finally figured out where Drew is sitting in this crew. So
Mm.
first of all, let's get into it because your hair looks so damn good. And secondarily, I would like to point out that at no point in this did I ever think that your hair looked bad. I never thought that the wig that they talked about so damn bad looked
You know
that
what? I'm
bad.
gonna just high five you through this phone right now. You know what I'm saying? Because the hate is real. Like,
Hmm.
I didn't think I felt really good about my wig. And it's quarantine, COVID. We all been
Hmm.
locked in the house. Come on. Like, we're doing the best we can, which is what I said. But my thing is, like, why are we throwing negativity to each other? And we haven't even met. Like, let me give you a reason to be mad. You know what I mean? Let me give
Hmm.
you, I'm from Chicago. Okay, I can give
Heard.
you a couple reasons, but to just hate for no reason, I was really taken aback, to say the least.
Well, I felt like they were definitely hazing you. They were trying to see what you was made of. But the gag is it was Latoya who ain't even been on the show her damn self giving you the most heat, and it really threw me off. It was a lot of energy, and you're a very sweet
Yeah,
girl.
thank you. I'm like, spend less time on my wig, more time on the eyebrows. That's what I want to tell her now that I've gotten to know her and I've looked at her face a few times.
Well, and there we have that. But yeah, I was real confused about the whole wig situation, and I did feel like they were definitely trying to play with you about the
Yeah.
wig, and it continued and it continued and it continued, and then like let's get into this whole trip. So first
Yeah.
of all, let's talk about this bus ride. This 8 hour bus ride. First of all, before we even get into the trip, on a scale of 1 to 10, of all the trips that you have taken in your life, what would you rate that trip?
0. It felt like I was in prison. I actually said that to my husband. I was like, I felt like I was in prison, period. Like, I couldn't wait to wrap that trip on up because from the moment I walked in the door, I was having a great time. Me and Portia, we were having a good time,
Hmm.
great vibes, even after the 8 hour hot bus ride.
Yes, niece.
But it was just like, you know, we going to turn up. We here. We don't have our
Hmm.
kids. We're going to make the most of it because that's just what we do. We make our lemons into lemonade, Leah. So here
Period.
we are, right? I loved my room. I was appreciative. It was all going great until, you know, she started coming for Fallon's husband. And I took offense to it because me being a wife and understanding the dynamics of marriage and the challenges that marriages face, to be a wife, I really hold that to heart. And I had to say something because, as you've seen, LaToya is ready to throw away her husband, you know, in the drop of a dime, you know, like a trade-in on a used car to Kenya. Like, that's what we're doing? No, I honor my marriage, and I honor marriages, relationships, and love. And I had to say something. And it was cute. It was fun. Just let me put you on notice. But then she proceeded to grab me. I'm from Chicago, bitch. Don't ever grab somebody. Like, anybody out there listening, like, who's okay with somebody grabbing them? Who's okay with that? And I definitely wasn't. And I went in the only way I know how to, because I had to draw that line. Like, you're not going to disrespect me ever. And that's what happened.
Well, and I feel like also as well, you know, it had been subtle attacks at that point. So it was, you know, they were trying you. They
tried. It was a good try. I'll give them a good try.
Oh, you gave them a good try, because let me tell you, when you said, oh, I got something for you too. I said, I don't know listen, y'all done have people run out on the floor, come in with guns, playing all time. I don't know what's going on next, baby. And then you brought the autographed picture out, and I said, Drew, way to get your peach, sis.
Listen, you know what I'm saying? It was like, I knew she was coming for the wig. I thought it was cute. But it was just like, girl, you are watching me. Like, I can't make a move without her knowing so much about me. She know about my husband. She's just so obsessed with every aspect of me, the game. I mean, she took it back to the game. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm sitting here trying to give you Drew Pittman, and you want to just keep getting Drew Sidora from the game. Well, let's run it. And that's what we did. So she can hang it on her wall, and I appreciate it. So I was like, I'm not even mad at you no more. Like, I appreciate my fans because she can keep speaking on my name. Like, keep speaking my name, LaToya. You know, it's all good. I'm sorry, biggest fan. And that's how I refer to her from here on out. She is my biggest fan, period.
Just like that.
Just like that.
And, you know, listen, speaking of this trip, I genuinely wanted to know, because I was dumbfounded. Yeah. Kenya went and ordered herself some food, and y'all was sitting there. So what was the time period from the time that y'all woke up to eating that pig feast before y'all had a full meal offered to you all?
Let me tell you, I was starving. Like, that hummus that I brought out for the girls, that was all I ate that day. I'm like, I smelled some eggs, but they weren't for us. It was like,
for Brooklyn.
I smell, like, it was for Brooklyn. I'm like, I'm hungry. What are the plans of the day? Hummus was the plan of the day. So
I'm so weak.
We were snacking on hummus. And then did you see how she lied to me and was like, I'm PMSing?
Oh, yes. Okay, so I couldn't tell who said it because she said it so low. I was like,
oh, she said it. She said it. That's what she said to me. And I was like, oh. You know, and as a woman, I'm like, well, okay. Well, then we all PMSing in because we hungry. Right. Like, what are we talking about? But that, for me, watching it back, you know, because in filming everything, it was like I discern just not connecting with certain people. Right. And now watching it back, I'm like, that's why I didn't connect, because they're just very inauthentic people, very fake. And I don't do fake. Like, I'm going to tell you how I feel, and you're going to know what you're getting from me, because I'm going to give it to you just straight. That's how my mama raised me. So it was just like a lot of lies I'm seeing. I'm like, oh, it was PMS. I believed it in that moment, but now I'm like, that was a lie. Right. Like, let's keep track of Kenya's lies at this point, and then we'll understand why her husband left her. I think she's making it very clear for all of us.
Well, goddamn, and that's on per. Listen, okay, this is the part that I was interested in, and now that you have retrospect and you can kind of look back at it, when Kenya told you, listen, I'm going to take this private jet, keep that on the low. What was it for you that made you be like, no. Like, I'm going to say something.
Right. So my thing is, you don't know me. And clearly we know that she doesn't like me. why would you share a secret with me and you're sitting here amongst your friends and you're withholding information from your friends? It didn't make sense to me. And my thing is, we're talking about how we're getting there. So I was trying to see if she was going to be honest. I didn't say it. I just put her feet to the fire so that she would have to say it. And that's the type of friend I am. I'm going to always keep you honest. I'm going to always make you great. I'm going to always be that friend that's like, hey, sis, you slipping, whatever, if you allow me to be, because that's the type of friend that I know I am, and that's what I want. And so I never said anything. I just gave Kenya the opportunity to not be fake. So I was proud of her in that moment that she kept it honest. So yeah, clap for Kenya, everybody.
Baby, the lemonade, honey, you bringing more to the sun than I was ready for. Listen, I'm interested to see. I will say this. I know you can't talk about upcoming episodes or what plays out in the season. However, I'm going to ask this very blanket statement, and I just want to hear your thoughts because this is something that is in my mind.
Let's go.
Would you say after Cynthia's bachelorette situation, would you consider any of your castmates bi-curious, bisexual, or lesbian?
I will say this. There is one particular person who couldn't keep her tongue in her mouth. And we know,
confessional, honey.
And we know who's been thirsty. So I see you, biggest fan. I know she probably watching too, Leah. She probably on here right now.
Ooh, okay. Ooh. Ooh, baby dream. I'm like, hold on, wait a minute.
So to answer your question, it was some things that I saw from her that I was just like, okay, I see why you struggling in your marriage and you're going through whatever and you're trying to get with Kenya. I get it. It all made sense. Let's just put it that way.
It all makes sense. Okay. Now, speaking of marriage, obviously on the show, your marriage is on display, some good, some bad. First of all, what made you want to show people that? Because when I watched, I was like, ooh, I wouldn't be brave enough to put all my shit on Front Street like that. So what made you want to share the pits, the highs? Because obviously when people are watching, they have an opinion about your marriage and they ain't in it. So
I didn't plan that. So I was kind of like, can we rewind it? Oh, no, I'm not here acting, because I'm used to a director and cut and whatever. No, this was like not at all what I wanted to share. But I did want to be vulnerable and be honest and open. And that was just really what was going on at that time. So it just forced us to have to deal with issues that we have been dealing with and putting on the back burner for a while. And it happened. And I was embarrassed at first because I was just like, I can't even believe that he's acting like this. Like, I really thought that he was just going to say what I wanted to hear because the cameras were there. Like, right. Baby, I was, and I'm sorry. And we could have wrapped that thing on up.
And they left,
but
right.
He didn't. And I was just like, that's why I walked away because I was like, you're not going to embarrass me. But it did bring a lot of things to light that I was just like, we can't keep going down this road. It's like when you start arguing in front of your kids, when you start arguing in public, when you argue in front of millions of people, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's when you know that you have real issues that you need to work on and address. And so I was really sad. I was like distraught about it. But what it forced us to do is to own our issues and get into counseling, which has really, really helped a lot. And I'm not going to say everything is perfect. I can be honest in that, but I love my husband and I know he loves me and we are committed to marriage. And so what I'm learning about marriage is it's not like the Cinderella story that we all like happily ever after. And then where do they go? Like, we never got that as little girls. Like, what happens after happily ever after? That's not real, y'all. Marriage is, and my parents been married for 58 years. Like, marriage is about fighting, arguing, growing, getting to know yourself, not even just him, but there may be some things about me that I don't know and that I need to work on. And that's the beautiful part about marriage is that neither of us are perfect. And we are willing to be open to working on our individual selves as well as us collectively. And I am excited because he's here. He's here and he's committed. So we are doing the work. So that's the blessing in it.
Well, and speaking of the work, child, when y'all dropped that ode to Gabrielle Union and the way let me tell you something, Drew. Let me tell you something real quick. You and your husband fine as hell. Fine as hell. Like as a couple, I'm like, ooh.
Yeah. And you already know how it is. Like the little things that men can do to get your attention. Don't get it twisted because you're married and it's like you love and we got kids. No, it's the little things like men have a 6-pack, have an 8-pack. You know, sometimes turn that good Usher song on, turn the lights down low, light some candles. And us as women, it's going to be all good. Like we will be back open. So I'm a woman like everybody else. I love to date. I love to be made to feel pretty. I love a man that's going to just love on me. And that's what my husband did. And I was like, oh, let me share this with everybody so they understand why I'm here and ready to work
And
this thing on
was
out.
good. Well, be clear. All the other ladies seem to confirm how fine your husband was. Okay.
Well, I'll take it, ladies. Like, let your girl know. Like, I'm not crazy. I love my husband. There's a lot of great things about him, as all y'all all can now agree. And I'm just happy for everybody to like get to know him more on this journey because he does. He's very layered. I'll say that. He's very layered.
Yeah, as we all
Yeah.
are. And I think
Yeah.
also, just talking to other reality stars, I realized that like, we make judgments off of what's presented to us, right? So like,
Yeah.
yes, we do see the drama because that's what makes a housewife show. But oftentimes we're not enamored by the good parts, right? We're not
Yeah.
always invested in Drew and Ralph doing well. Like that
Yeah.
doesn't always, get people interested in a show. So I do think that, everyone take with a grain of salt the things we watch. Although it is real, as you have
Yeah.
confirmed,
Yeah.
there it's a marriage, and we watch
Yeah.
even other housewives. Look at Karen. We saw Karen and Ray this year, and at the reunion, which was like almost a year later, they were like, "We're doing well." So
Yes.
it's
There's
all
hope.
about perspective.
It's perspective. There's hope. And I'll be honest with you. Like, after I got married and I had my children, which I love so much, it was really hard for me because I wasn't working and I had gained weight. You know what I mean? And I was like, okay, my father has Alzheimer's. And it was really hard for me, like, to deal with that
Mhm.
emotionally. And it was like, all right, I'm not me. I'm not acting. I'm not living my full self. And it was depressing, like for me to lose myself in that way because I've been
Mhm.
super independent. Like you said, I've been doing this since I was 8 years old. So for me, it was like a shot and blow to my confidence level. And there were things that you guys didn't get to see just years ago, in my marriage
Right.
early on that kind of put me in a depression state. And it was for me to get my mental health back together. And so what you're seeing is remnants of my husband and I dealing with a lot of things over the years. Our marriage wasn't perfect. So it was all of that and it just exploded. And then too, the pandemic did not help. My
Yeah.
mom living with us. Y'all see my mama and me having surgeries. It was a lot. And so my
Mhm.
husband said he reached a breaking point. And so like you said, it's about perspective. And a lot of people don't know all that we go through. And that's why I'm here just like sharing. Like my life has not been perfect. And I'm just here being very vulnerable with everybody to let you know, like, you can get on the other side. But we're on this journey together because we're not there yet. But I'm prayerful that we'll get there.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I actually read this article the other day about when you had your babies, you were going on auditions actually for Nicki Minaj's thing on ABC.
Yeah.
And she had commented about the fact that you did not look the same way you did when you played T-Boz in the TLC movie. So walk me through that situation. And then on top of that, like, really how that made you feel, because obviously you can say you're on the other side of it, right? Like you've had the baby, you've lost a little weight, you feel a little bit
I
more
lost weight.
intact. But you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, walk me through that situation, because when I read that, I could only imagine the blow it felt at that time.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's moments in life that kind of like hit you or an epiphany or
Mm-hmm.
just awaken you. You know, you become woke. Like,
Right.
that was that moment where I was walking around like, I got it all together. I'm good, you know,
Mm.
and I'm ready to get back to work. And when I walked in that room, I went through like 5 rounds. They were like, you're a phenomenal actress. You know, they kept bringing me back. So when I got in front of Nikki, it had been narrowed down to just a few girls. So I was very confident. I was like, oh, I got this. And when Nikki was like, you know, she started saying how much she loved me, but I didn't look the same. And I was just like, well, yeah, you know, I just had a baby. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
we had this real moment outside of just Hollywood. It was like, sis, you don't look like yourself. And at that time, I was like, well, I can
Mm.
lose weight. I'm a professional. This is what I do. And when I left there, you know, they called me back. The executives were like, we love you. She loves you. It's just, you know, your weight. And we want to bring you back
Mm.
if you can lose weight. And that's when I was just like, all right, you can get mad. You can beat yourself up, which I'm not going to lie, I cried. I was like, damn, you know, that
Yeah.
was a
Right.
blow.
Right.
Like, you know, you think you cute and then somebody tell you basically you fat. And I'm like, damn, am I
Story of my
fat? I
life. I
didn't
know,
know.
sis.
Right. So I was just like, so I myself had to, I don't need no, so that's the thing about me. I really don't need people to tell me about myself. But if you do
Mm-hmm.
it to my face, I will always self-reflect and be like, not that we body shame, not that I
Mm-hmm.
need to be stick skinny, but I do need to be healthy, not only for
Right.
me, but for my kids. If I'm
Mm-hmm.
like low energy, why not get in the gym and do what I can to get back to me? And that was the moment like,
Mm-hmm.
you know what? I'm not really back to me, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally,
Mm.
spiritually. So that was the journey. And I really look up to Nikki. Like, that was a moment that got me back on track. Like, sis, she said it. And maybe you need to be real with yourself. And I got a membership
Mm.
like that day. And I've been on the journey of weight loss. And I appreciate people for their honesty. I really took that with a grain of salt and was like, let me be real and let's get on this weight loss journey. And after that, I started working. I started booking again. And yeah, that moment is something that had an impact on me. That's why I shared it. So
Do you think that you suffered from postpartum?
I definitely did. I
Mm.
went through counseling. So during that period, I ended up getting a counselor for myself. So
Mm-hmm.
even though my husband and I were having issues, I was like, let me work on me. And when I got into counseling, she basically diagnosed me and said I have suffered from postpartum and I didn't even know. So that was
I think
real.
a lot of Black women suffer with it more than we talk about, obviously. But
Yeah,
I think that, as Black women, we know the weight and the pressure of feeling like we have to have it all together. And then you're a mom on top of that, right? So you're trying to
absolutely.
tend to your child, you're trying to work, you're trying to keep your
Yeah.
career, you want to still feel like you got it, right? And then
All of
you're
that. Yeah.
suffering mentally, you don't feel like yourself. And I feel like the conversation is not broad enough. That's why I can appreciate women like you opening up and telling
Yeah.
women because, we have these babies and we're responsible for so much. And then,
Yeah.
people do not talk about it's a dark time. I had a little cousin who had a baby and she couldn't even describe to me what she was feeling. She just knew it wasn't right. You know what I mean? She knew she
Yep.
wasn't aligned. And
Yeah.
so I have no children. And, when I hear those stories, it mortifies the hell out of me to have them. But,
Yeah. But you
I
get
think
through
it's
it.
important.
You get through it. That's the good thing about it is that it's up to you to take ownership, to own your junk and really be honest. Nobody wants to look in the mirror and say, I'm not all the way together or I'm overweight or I'm not confident. We all want
Right.
to believe, yo, I'm a queen. I'm confident. I'm beautiful
Yeah.
as you should, but you have to be able to be honest and real with yourself because if you don't, the world is going to tell you. You know what I'm saying? But then
Mm-hmm.
still at
Mm-hmm.
some point, even when they tell you, you have to be able to just say, what am I going to do about it? If you're happy with yourself, be happy with yourself, love and accept yourself. But if there's things that you recognize after self-analyzation, if your marriage isn't going right, I'm gonna be like, well, is
Mm-hmm.
it me? I'm not gonna just keep blaming him. If I'm not
Mm-hmm.
booking and I'm not working, I can't keep saying this to everybody else. I gotta be like, well, is it me? And I have to do the work to figure that out. And that's a journey. It doesn't happen
Yeah.
overnight. So, but postpartum, I didn't even know. I thought I was great. I thought I was out here being great. And
Right.
sis, I was not. Like, I can be right, I was not. So I got on
Mm.
that journey and now here I am. I'm happy, I'm whole, and life isn't guaranteed because then we was in a pandemic. So you got to
Right.
get strong for everything life throws at you. And it's up to you to turn your lemons into lemonade. So that's the motto I live by, period.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I want to jump into your career since we're in that avenue. So you've been in Hollywood
Yeah.
4 years. I mean, listen, you were on one of my favorites, That's a Raven. White Chick, Step It Up, of course, The Game, which is one of your most notorious roles ever.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, how many times a day do you get stopped about The Game?
Girl, people be like, Drew Sidora, you broke up Melanie and Derwin. I'm like, listen, let's not forget Derwin lied to me. I was a woman that did not know he had a girl. But we've all been there, done that. So I'm like, you know what? It is what it is. But yeah, a lot of people, man, they believe that to be real to this day.
Probably
But
because the
that's
character was like named after you too. It didn't help.
right. I was like, okay, you know you got to be really big to play yourself, but damn. Like, people was really mad at me.
I will say this though, since The Game did come back out on Netflix, people are reanalyzing the show, and a lot of people say Melanie was the toxic one. People are
See,
saying that.
you got to see it from a different lens. I want to have that conversation with Tia too, because it's like as women, there's two sides to everything, and it's not that she was wrong or I was wrong. It was just like, hey, we had a dude that wasn't being honest. So there we have it. But we have the best fans. The Game fans are the most loyal. Let me tell you, diehard fans ever.
hmm
So I love it. I love it, and I'm thankful for Maura Brock. Like she's amazing.
Yeah, and she just signed a new deal with Netflix too, so honey,
Netflix deal.
you could
Mara.
be out there.
Mara.
Holla!
Queen. Holla at your girl.
So, of all the roles that you have played, what has been your favorite?
For sure, TLC.
Mm,
T-Lies.
of
What?
course.
Like, that was so iconic because I was a fan of TLC. Like, we all were.
hmm
But it was so pressure, so much pressure because you got Tion right here on set. Like, I wouldn't do it
mm
like that, And I'm like, damn. So I need to make her proud, her mama
hmm
proud, and the fans proud. So
Yep.
everything from like their physique, because that was another time I showed up and we were doing a fitting, and I couldn't fit in none of their clothes because we were wearing their real clothes. I was like, hold up, wait a minute. Let
No,
me go
y'all were
use the
not wearing
bathroom.
their real
We
clothes.
wore those were their scrub actual costumes.
Ugh.
So I was like, wait. No, let's try this again next week. Hold up. This ain't right. I'm just playing. It don't fit, but it's a joke. We gonna try this again. And I had to get a trainer. I was like, no, I'm going to conquer this role from head to toe. So I had a trainer. I was doing 2 a-days. On set, I was doing jump ropes, and I had to get her physique, which I accomplished. I had like a 4-pack. You know what I'm saying? Didn't have a full 6, but I had a 4. I was very happy. I was able to fit in the clothes, and but mentally, I had to get in her space, not only for T-Boz, but Tion. A lot of us didn't know Tion Watkins. We knew T-Boz. We didn't know all the junk Tion went through. So I wanted to channel that. And of course, doing all the dances, like her mannerisms, her voice, like
Yep.
that was very challenging for me. But it's the most memorable, most impactful role I played for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And I
Yeah.
think, Lifetime has had their share of butchering biopics, but they didn't come for the TLC one like that. So
Can
y'all did
nobody
all right.
touch the TLC
Yeah.
biopic
Okay.
for sure.
Period. Um, what was your least favorite role? Like, is there something that you look back at and kind of cringe? I think every artist has that, whether they say it or not.
You know what? If I say it, I don't want nobody to go looking for the movie. um, damn. I would say it was this movie called Jury of Our Peers. It was like this murder mystery movie. I think I died, and then I came back to life. It was very confusing, even
Okay.
for me
hmm
that was in it. So I was like, what story were we trying to tell? So I was that one is one I was just like, all right, we have fun, but I don't understand even what I was doing. But yeah, that would be that
That was
movie.
the one. Listen, you booked and busy at a cost
We won't
sometimes,
tell people
okay?
about that one, but I'm telling y'all.
Okay, and this is just something I'm inquiring about. Have we heard anything on White Chicks 2?
Yeah, so I keep hearing about it.
Mm-hmm.
So we just need y'all to keep making noise about it. I
Mm-hmm.
know at one point I did talk to Terry Crews and I saw Marlon, and they were like, if we can get everybody together, So that's what we need to make happen. Because White Chicks, now that was the funniest movie I ever did. That was like the best
What was that
time.
like? What was that like? Was
Oh
it
my
everything?
God. Keenan was everything. The Wayans are fools. Like everything. It was jokes. We couldn't stop laughing. They really treated us like royalty, but we improv a lot of that movie. Like I wasn't even supposed to be in it. They just thought I was funny and they wrote me into the script and they was just like, sis, do your thing. But I learned so much from them that I was like, it was everything. It was just as funny as it was watching. It was as making it.
Do you think though in 2021 with people being so sensitive that like White Chicks 2 is even possible? Because people get offended by everything,
No,
child.
that is very true.
Because a white face gonna
That's
be
a
like,
good
oh, that's
point.
white face. That's white
Right. And
face.
we can't do that.
If y'all
But
don't
you
want
know
black
what?
face.
I think we got to get back to after this year, like 2020,
Mm,
we have to get back to a place where we can just laugh. And we got
yeah,
to
that's
not
real.
be so serious because as we see, we've lost so many people. I know myself, I've lost family to COVID, friends
Yeah.
to COVID. I think we need to get back to that place of being able just to like laugh again. So I actually
Hmm.
think, it would be a good time for people to see that happen, you know?
Yeah, yeah, no, and
Definitely.
White Chicks is one of those for me that like I stand, like I can watch it at any point and still
They are
laugh.
so stupid. They are
What
so stupid for that.
color?
I
What color?
mean,
That's
can
my
you imagine Terry Crews, Marlon? I just can't. It would be
yeah.
everything.
Now
Everything.
hold on. Okay, now Terry Crews, child, he been a little interesting in the last couple of years.
Well, we just gonna have him play the role. We ain't
Okay,
gonna
he just gonna come
the
back to do his
he
role.
the role. It's all
We don't
about the
need
role.
none of his comments.
Not the we gonna have the
But,
script.
okay,
He gonna read them lines. He gonna stick
no
to the
improv
script.
from him.
And we
No
go no
improv.
improv for you, boo. All right, we gonna stick to the script on this one.
Okay, okay, period. Okay, what is the craziest thing that you've had to do to prepare for a role? Obviously, you just said you got a 4-pack in like a week for the TLC movie, but like,
Right.
what's the craziest thing?
Um, the craziest thing. Oh my God, so many. I would say that's a good question, girl. Having to do like a love scene, I think is very like crazy with Brian White. I don't know if you saw Motives too, but that
Mm,
was like crazy because I wasn't married at that time.
hmm
So, you know what I'm saying? Like choreographing like a love making scene. And he was fine. Like Brian
hmm
White is
hmm
fine. And
Can
I'm
I
just
ask you
like,
something? This is just something that I've always wanted to know personally about acting in
what you want to
general.
know, girl? What you want to know?
I just feel like sometimes when you watch a sex scene that's too good, I just don't believe that some of them actors don't go back to their rooms and fuck each other. Am I? Am I off? Am I off?
Well,
Like
we
sometimes it
should,
looks too real, too real. Like, and there's rumored
know.
movies where they say that some people are actually having sex on camera.
Now, some people are method, honey. Some people are method and they believe in it.
Mm,
Like, if we're going to do it, we're going to go all the way. If I got to be a drug addict, I'm going to take drugs. That's like
mm,
method to the fullest. Um, so yeah, that happens. That most
mm,
definitely happens. People just like when we was little and you would go on a field trip and you'd have like
mm.
a field trip boyfriend. You get set
Yeah.
boyfriends. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like
Yes.
that's why you
Yes.
hear in Hollywood like people do a movie together and then they end up together.
Dating.
Because
Mm.
Jenna Dewan and Channing Tatum, I was a
Mm-hmm.
witness. It was like the most beautiful thing to witness them fall in love while they were doing scenes.
Oh.
So it happens. It definitely happens.
Yeah, because I just be watching stuff and I'm like, but I was talking to Laz Alonso and he did say it's very awkward, though, obviously, when you don't have that type of,
Yeah.
it's very
Yeah.
awkward because you're like, are you comfortable? Am I doing this right? There's a room full of people watching.
Yeah. And I mean, there, for the most part, it is because you've got lighting, you've got your sound person, your camera person, wardrobe, and a lot of times you're not fully naked. So they'll have you take your shirt off and they'll pan your shoulder. Then you'll put it back
Hmm
on and you'll pull your shorts up and they'll pan your
hmm
leg. It's
hmm
very orchestrated,
Yeah.
choreographed, and they're saying cut, stop, move your head to the left. It's not, but when they slow it down and they add the music, that's the
hmm
drama and the
Right.
art that makes it so dope and beautiful for what
Yeah.
we do. and I love it. So yeah, that for me, that was my experience with
Mm-hmm.
Brian. He was like, he's definitely very trained actor,
Mm-hmm.
great, incredible actor. He was like, you want to practice our love scene? You know, and we was over there practicing in a corner like total cornballs, like trying to get this scene right for the people.
Listen, you got to do what you got to do to make the movie, though.
Got to make it believable, you know? So
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. Let me see. Let me see. Who's your favorite person to work with?
Oh my God. Martin Lawrence.
Mm.
Like he played my dad. And I love him. Like he's one of my mentors to this day. But he was so down to earth. Like I was so nervous to work with him. I'm
Mm.
like, come on,
Right.
Martin and Gina, like stop playing. And then I get there and he was just so like reserved and so quiet and humble and
Mm.
shy. Like after we did the scene, he's asking me like, how did I do? I'm like, how did
How did I
how
do?
did you do? How did I do? I'm over here thinking I'm about to get fired. You know what I'm saying? Making sure I'm hitting all my lines. I gave him
Right.
my all. I had like 2 lines. I was like, I'm getting it all. But he for sure, like he educated me a lot on the business. And then he asked me
Mm.
like, what's your favorite jeans? And at that time it was 7 jeans. And on the last day of filming, I walked in my trailer and I had like 30 pair of 7 jeans. Every color, every
Oh,
color. So I was like, I love him. He is everything. So shout out
yeah.
to Martin.
It's
Yeah,
such a
he's super
blessing when
dope.
you run into people in the industry who are good people because it's
Yeah,
hard to come by. You know that. Like it's
yeah, absolutely.
people be, you know.
They be different. I mean, Hollywood's
Hmm.
Hollywood, but some of the most successful people that I've worked with and I've met, they are the most humble. The most humble.
Okay. I was gonna say
So
weird. I was like,
no, 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 no. I mean, the weirdos be the ones that ain't even on. It's like, why you acting like a weirdo? You done did like one YouTube channel. Okay. Don't
right,
be a
right,
weirdo.
right. Well, anyway, well, listen. I could sip the lemonade all night, but honey, you the way you throwing it, I'm like, well. But no, I don't want to keep you. I know you are a busy woman with a lot to do, but I do want to thank you so much for dishing with me the lemonade, honey, because like I said, you earned your peach last night. I cannot wait to see the next
Okay.
episode. Honey, you are rightfully so holding. Okay? Just
Let's get into it. Get ready because
okay.
it's you ain't seen nothing yet.
I'm
It's gonna
hoping because
be
the season kind of
girl.
kind of started off a little slow, but it's moving now. It's starting to pick up.
Yeah,
Oh,
for
one last
sure.
question about
Yeah.
Atlanta Housewives. What were you went to Cynthia's wedding? Obviously, Cynthia caught a lot of flack about having a 250-person wedding in the middle of COVID. You were there. Did you feel safe? Do you feel like the precautions were taken to be safe?
I totally felt safe. Like sis was not playing. When we got there, it was like a line just for the temperature checks. They was not letting nobody in the building without getting your temperature checked, hand sanitizers. If you didn't have
Hmm.
your face mask, they had a face mask for you. And all the seats were distanced, you know.
Hmm.
They had us broken out in different rooms. And the ceremony was so beautiful. It was just like God was all up in that room. Like we was
Mm.
not, and not one person to date caught COVID. So like we was covered.
Mm.
It was beautiful. She did everything she could do to make sure we were safe. And I never once thought like, let's leave because I don't feel safe. I felt
Right.
really dope. We were talking through our masks. We had a great time. And yeah, like it was successful. Nobody got sick. So kudos to Cynthia, Mrs. Hill.
Hmm. The chills.
She made Mrs. Chill. She did her thing, and it was awesome. I think she did a great job, despite the pandemic and everything. She made it the most beautiful wedding in the pandemic that it would ever be.
Mm, okay, good. Because I like obviously you see everybody talking about it, and I just wonder because I get nervous. Hell, I go to the restaurant and I'm like, I don't even want to take my damn mask off if I even
Yeah,
go. So I
yeah,
always wondered from someone who was actually there because of course Cynthia's going to tell
yes.
everybody it was safe, but as a guest, um,
No, I honestly will tell you, they was passing around them hand sanitizers like it was hotcakes. They was like, it was like the whole night we was just
your hands
covered.
was dry.
So
Okay.
I was there. I didn't, and my mom was here. You know, my mom is older, so I was
Hmm.
very like cautious. Like
Hmm.
I want to keep my mother safe, obviously.
Right.
So
Right.
we didn't feel any weird vibes. Everybody was definitely protecting.
Okay.
Yep.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah.
And I gotta ask this question because I'm based in the DMV. Who is your favorite Potomac housewife?
Oh, that's not fair. That is not a fair question.
Okay, we'll say this as a viewer, not as Drew, who's a part of another franchise, just as a viewer. Like if
Well,
you was to watch the show,
because Candace is my girl.
she's mine too. Hi, Candace. I hope you're watching.
Candace. No, that's
Yes.
really like my girl, like educated. She's fun. She has great energy. And I know her personally. But I love Karen. Cause like that's my bitch. Like I love Karen Huger. Like,
Right.
damn, like come on, don't make me choose. And then Giselle. So when we were doing Step Up, we shot that out in Baltimore. And I was a member of Jamal's church, and she was my first lady. So that's my first lady. Like, you can't make me choose. That's my real first lady. Because Pastor Brian gonna always be my pastor. I don't care what nobody says.
Okay.
He is an anointed man.
He is.
He's my Holy Spirit.
That he is.
So those are my top three, I would say. But I think Potomac is everything. And then Wendy, Wendy Osepo, like we text and stuff, and she's educated, like smart as a whip.
Okay, she got 3 degrees.
Woman, 3 degrees. I can't compete with that. I look up to her, and I will say in a heartbeat, I am inspired by Wendy. So I think they're great. I think the whole cast is great. And I was tuned in to every episode. Every episode. And I hated the whole situation. You know what I mean? Because I think for Black women, what we don't address, because I don't like to pick sides. I don't like to be like team this, team that. Because I believe that we all have trauma. We all have life circumstances that we got to deal with, right? Candace, she was dealing with hers. She went to seek her counseling. And Monique turned to her counselor. So I applaud both of them, because sometimes in moments when you get emotional, I'm not going to act like I always make the right decisions. Like I'm just going to come for a couple people. You know, you really react in that moment how you feel. And then you have to go, and I applaud both of them for doing the work. As you saw in my marriage, it's about doing the work on yourself. So that's what I think we need to talk about as Black women, that we got to work on ourselves, pay less attention to each other, more work on ourselves, love ourselves, and then we can be great.
And, you know, this is what I told Candace when I talked to her. You know, Black women, we're not monolithic, right? Like, we're not one type of woman. And I did feel like the narrative on the show was, we are Black women, we don't do that. And I told Candace, like, yo, it's not your responsibility, because these white housewives be doing the most too. And no one ever questions, should they be there? Should they have this platform? Because they act the damn fool too. So, you know, I do think, you know, with all of y'all, that being said, for all of you, you know, I don't want y'all to ever internalize feeling as though the weight of being a Black housewife, when there's only 2 franchises, you know, is y'all's responsibility, because these white women get to act the damn fool and they go about their day and they collect their checks. And it is what it is. And I do get it. It's a platform, really, but, you know, it's just, you know, I felt like the narrative became after the fight was, we don't do this. This is not what we do. And in all disclaimer, if you really watch Potomac, long before they were bougie and affluent. So that was the energy it gave anyway. But, you know, that's one thing I do say to, you know, Black women, because I do feel like sometimes you all take that weight and it feels heavy sometimes, and that's not on y'all.
I appreciate that. And I mean, for me, I don't know about y'all, and I don't know Leah. My mama was a good old Black mama, and she gave that good old tough love. And if we was going to get slapped or whatever the case may be, you know, my mom disciplined us, and it wasn't always easy. And I don't think as a Black woman, it's always easy. I watched my mother struggle. I watched a lot of what she went through. And I think as Black women, we're always going to struggle. We're not always going to show up perfect. We're not always going to damn get along. And I think that pressure we put on ourselves, because we want better from ourselves, we expect more. Because my mama was like, I'm going to slap you up. You're going to be right. You're going to represent the family. But we're not perfect, but we strive to be better. And I think that was what they were intending, to just try to force us to be better, do better. But it is what it is. That's not the first fight you're going to see. That ain't the last one. You know what I mean? Because it's hard for us, and we are very vocal. We are strong, and we are opinionated, and we believe in what we believe in, even if we don't agree on it. And when we get in the room, we're going to speak up, and it's going to be some words. But I think the sisterhood comes in how we can bring it back together at some point. at some point, you know, that's my
Yeah.
hope at least.
Yeah. Hold on. Somebody in the comments said answer some questions. What
Oh,
questions?
let's
What
do
questions
it.
y'all got? Don't shade my friend Drew, please. Okay.
No
What
shade.
questions y'all got? And by the way, they were correcting us. Wendy got 4 degrees. I'm sorry. I thought it was 3. My
Oh,
bad. It's
I'm
4. It's
sorry,
4.
Wendy. We got to get that right. Oh,
Okay.
ain't in
On period.
trouble.
Okay. Okay. The degree police is on the
Right.
way.
She'll be right there. She popped right up here on us.
It's 4. Right. It'll be on three-way, IG like it's 4. Don't,
Right. Hello?
don't get it twisted.
My bad, Wendy.
Um, will Drew return for another season of Housewives? She can't tell y'all that. If that's the case, yeah, I'm telling y'all, so she don't even got to answer. How do you feel about Nene not being on the season? Do you know Nene?
Yeah, Nini's my neighbor. I don't know Nini personally, but she's my neighbor. I love Nini. I have watched her, and without her, there would be no RHOA.
Mm-hmm.
And without RHOA, there would be no Nini. She is the franchise. I applaud her and commend her for what she has done. And I think I miss her. I was actually hoping that she was going to pop up during one of the scenes. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, is this real? Like, is this really what's going on? I was really hoping I would pop up and see Miss Nene Leakes, you know? And
Right.
so I do wish she was here. I think she's what makes this show, you know, incredible and has given it the success over 13 seasons. So I wish her well. Like, I pray that she's going to do her thing. I know she's going to do great things from here, but I hope that, you know, at the end of this, she will come back, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And listen, Nene's always working, so she gonna find a way to get in the mix. I saw a comment that said, "How did the testing go for filming? Like, were you all tested each time you shot a scene, or how did it work?"
Yeah, so we were testing like once, twice a week, getting that
Mm.
thing up the nose. Like Bravo was not playing no games and making sure we were safe. So, as you saw, we went to my husband's father's funeral. My father-in-law passed away, and we went to North Carolina, and that's why you didn't see me. Bravo was like, "Sit down, like we not playing with you," and I had to quarantine, and they took every precaution, like it was real. So. Yeah, they took it, kept us safe, and but that's why your girl wasn't here. So.
Listen, I'm glad that they made sure you guys were safe because I think everyone's kind of watching their TVs, trying to figure out how we're watching what we're watching,
Yeah,
and we do see that they are, you guys eat out more, outside more. You guys are,
yeah,
trying
in our
to do this,
masks, you
and y'all didn't
know.
even get to go on a real trip because was the South Carolina, was that supposed to be the trip this year? Cause
I was like, "Where's the international? Oh, it's a pandemic." Like,
nah, listen,
right,
I don't think they could have got away with it because I'm seeing a lot of people in countries, and I'm like, I thought y'all couldn't go there.
man. I was looking. I was like, "This would happen when I come up here." I'm looking for a international trip. I'm like, "Oh, South Carolina, that's where we're going."
Okay, and y'all not eating all day, and y'all hungry, and y'all hot.
Kind of vacation is this junk.
Okay,
So,
y'all could have stayed in Atlanta because Atlanta
sure
open.
could. Because my mama was here. My mama was cooking. Okay. Oh, I ain't never had these problems.
Okay, period. Cornbread
So,
fed.
right, from
I'm not
Chicago.
mad.
What y'all know about Chicago? What y'all know about
Come
the taste of
on.
Chicago? Harold's chicken, Garrett's popcorn. Look, I gotta shout everybody out.
Yes, I have not been to Chicago. Like I've been like on a layover flight, but I have not been. So
Girl,
I'm gonna hit you up when
listen.
I go so I can know all the spots. It be too cold most of the year,
Yeah,
Drew.
that's hence I'm not missing. I call my family. It was a snowstorm. It was a blizzard, like 8 inches.
Yeah,
I was
it's
like,
snowing in the DMV.
so it was a polar vortex on my husband's birthday. On his birthday, -40. I was
Mm-mm,
like, you know what? I love
mm-mm,
y'all, but we can't do this no more. It
mm-mm,
is too cold. So yeah, you got to go in the summer, go to Lake Michigan, get on a
okay.
yacht real quick, get you some popcorn. It's everything. The architectural tour, like we have history. We got turn up, go get your foot working
Okay.
on, go juke it a little bit.
Okay.
Chicago two-step,
Okay.
let me know when you come. We're gonna take a trip. I got you.
Let's do it. I'm ready to go because hell, the way COVID set up, that's where we're gonna be for the
You
next
got
few
to be ready
years.
to party though, because we don't go and sit cute. Like when we go, we dance. Like we
Okay.
throw down. Like we
And
play our
listen,
hits, and
okay,
you.
I was just about to say that because listen, after 2020, 2021, like hills are not even an option. Real talk. Y'all getting a
Yeah.
good kitten hill from me. Shit.
Yes. come through.
It's giving kitten heel because we ain't wearing heels.
You just gonna be wearing heels for no reason. Like, I'm just going to walk to the mailbox in these
Just cause,
right here.
just cause, it's giving a tennis shoe, and I realize that men gonna take a twerk regardless of what you wearing. You can wear a trash bag if they want to dance with you. They gonna dance with you if they want to dance with you. So it don't matter.
Thank you. It don't
So
even matter.
I'm down to go. I'm down to learn the culture. You know what I'm saying?
We'll plan that, and we're gonna turn up in Chicago. I'm gonna
in the
treat you
kitten
real
heels.
good. I'm gonna get you a sweatshirt. So when you go to Chicago, they know what time it is.
Does Ralph have a brother? A brother that looks like him in particular?
He does. He has a brother. Actually, he has two brothers. Are
they single? Are we playing matchmaking?
What?
Do they like big women?
You know what?
I'm just trying. Listen, Drew, you gotta be honest.
Hold up. We're gonna have to talk offline because I think he got a cousin. And his cousin's been,
because the cousins don't be looking like the brother.
Cousin.
The cousins don't be looking like the brother.
His brother is single, but his brother live in LA. His cousin.
Okay.
His cousin is a good dude. He's smart, girl, got a good job, and he's been hounding me. Like, I want to settle down. You know what I'm saying? I want a wife. Like, I really want this life. And literally, he was here with us for Christmas, and he was just on my tail. Like, sis, I want a good woman. Like, I just want somebody genuine because he's been hurt. He's been cheated on.
Okay,
so he's so sweet. Like, he's so sweet. But him and Ralph are like two peas in a pod.
Do they be singing in the church? He be singing in the church choir with y'all too? He can sing? Or?
He be pouring the church wine. That's more his flow. He be getting the Lord's Supper ready.
Okay. He's a deacon.
That's his ministry. Yeah, he's a drinking deacon.
Listen, a little liquor ain't never hurt nobody. I'm a queen of lemonade stand. He can pour a little something in there.
Jesus turned it in wine. Let's not get. Now we about to have church.
Okay.
Now we about to have church. Ralph's gonna bring out the keyboard, and I'm gonna start praising.
Come on! And let me say this: you about the only person in Housewives of Atlanta history who sang a solo and it wasn't pitchy.
Come on, new music on the way. Now you got me thinking I need to get music.
What are we doing? I mean,
is that what you're telling me?
I mean,
why not?
It wasn't giving pitchy. It wasn't.
Well, let's go. Well, let me call my producer. Let's do it. I'm about to put some music out.
I mean,
because Leah told me I was on perfect pitch.
Okay.
So I'm gonna sing you the single first. How about that?
Yes, and I'll tell you, girl. I'm gonna tell you. Listen, I critique. Okay, I critique.
I need it. I love a good critique to my face.
Yes. Oh, I got you. Well, I'm gonna tell you because you're sending it to me. I'm gonna tell you first.
Thank you.
I got you.
That's all I asked for.
I won't confessional you. Listen, Drew, I can act a fool with you on Instagram Live.
Good. I love
all day.
You.
I love you too.
Really do. I really do. We can do this anytime.
Okay,
you let me know.
Yes, okay. We'll do it again when we start to get to reunion time because I wanna get your real thoughts. I like when the season is over and then y'all really start throwing the shade.
And we can really talk about everything. I'm down. Down. You know where to find me.
I do. I can't wait. Then I have to get you and Candace on a Zoom, and then we could just have a little. You know how Bravo has a little thing after Watch What Happens Live. We can make one where we talk about the topic.
All of it.
Okay,
let's do it. I'm
down. I'm texting Candace right now. So what's up?
I'm gonna text her and be like, "I'm in, sis. What you want to do?"
Don't get me started. We could. You know what, Drew? Okay. You know what?
I'm not messing with you. I'm getting off this. We're going to be here like
I know.
Another 2 hours. I love everybody on here. I see the comments. Thank y'all. King Artez, get into the hair, boo.
And don't play her wig on your life.
Don't play. She on tonight.
Okay, period. Go take some flicks. I need to see this hair on Instagram. Tell Ralph to set the tripod up. We're trying to be cute.
We will. I will let him know. He's around the corner.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Drew. I appreciate you, boo.
No problem. Thank you for having me. And we are going to talk again and turn up.
Yes,
you're going to have a drink with me next time, all right?
I know, a real one. I got you next time. I got you. I need a cup like that. I got
you.
That's on brand for me. Sparkles like that. That's me.
Let's do it. All right, boo.
All right. Well, everybody, grab a cup, throw it back, and sip on all of that, honey. Okay. Thank you, Drew.
God bless. I love you too, boo. Bye.
Bye.